Every town has its secrets, doesn't it? Old stories whispered from generation to generation, tales that blur the line between folklore and fact. In my sleepy little town of Havenwood, our secret had a name. Though no one dared speak it above a whisper, the Rose Girl. They said she appeared only after midnight. A luminous figure wandering the fog-drenched streets, her arms always full of impossible, glowing roses. Each rose, they claimed, held a secreter truth the town had long since buried. I'm a skeptic by nature. A storyteller, yes, but one who deals in hard facts and provable history. I'd heard the legends my whole life, of course. My grandmother used to tell me stories of the Rose Girl to get me to sleep, describing her as a guardian of lost memories. But to me, it was just that, a story, a quaint piece of local color that all changed on the night of the autumn equinox. I was working late, archiving old town records at the local library, a building almost as old as Havenwood itself. The air was thick with the smell of aging paper and dust. As the clock tower chimed midnight, a strange ethereal light began to filter through the tall arched windows. It wasn't moonlight. It was too soft, too alive. It pulsed with a gentle, rhythmic beat, casting long, dancing shadows across the rows of books. Curiosity got the better of me. I crept to the window, peering out into the deserted town square. And there she was. Everything the story said and more. She was a silhouette of light. A girl made of soft, pearlescent glow, moving with a grace that seemed otherworldly. In her arms, she cradled a bouquet of roses that shimmered with the same inner light, their petals casting a warm, golden hue on the cobblestones. She wasn't haunting. She was beautiful, mesmerizing. She walked slowly, deliberately, toward the old stone fountain at the center of the square. As I watched, breathless, she knelt and placed a single perfect rose on the fountain's edge. The moment her fingers let go, the rose's glow intensified, then faded, leaving a normal crimson rose in its place. And just like that, she was gone, dissolving into the mist as if she were never there. I stood frozen at the window for what felt like an eternity. Had I imagined it? Was it a trick of the light, a product of a tired mind? I had to know. Throwing on my coat, I raced out of the library and across the square to the fountain, and there it was, a single dew-kissed red rose, lying on the cold stone. It looked ordinary, but I knew it wasn't. As I reached out to touch it, a flood of images, of whispers, filled my mind. It was a secret. Not a grand, earth-shattering one, but a small, personal truth. The story of a baker from a century ago who gave away his last loaf of bread to a starving family, an act of kindness lost to time. This was the beginning of my obsession. Every night I watched, every night she appeared, leaving a single rose in a different part of town, and every night I would find the rose and uncover the secret it held. A forgotten love letter tucked into a loose brick. The tale of a brave firefighter who saved a child from a blaze no one remembered. The quiet sacrifice of a mother for her son. These weren't dark, sinister secrets. They were moments of love, of courage, of humanity that had been paved over by the relentless march of time. Havenwood wasn't hiding skeletons in its closets. It had simply forgotten its heart. The more secrets I uncovered, the more I realized the Rose Girl wasn't a ghost to be feared. She was a historian, a memory keeper. But why? What was her purpose? And more importantly, who was she? My research skills, honed by years in the library archives, went into overdrive. I pored over birth records, death certificates, and old newspaper clippings, searching for any mention of a girl, roses, or strange lights. The trail was cold for weeks. It felt like I was chasing a phantom. Then I found it. A small overlooked entry in an old town ledger from 1888. It detailed the construction of the very fountain in the town square. The project was funded by a wealthy family, the Delacroix, in memory of their only daughter, Elara. Elara had loved roses more than anything. She had a passion for uncovering the hidden stories of the townspeople, writing them down in a journal she always kept with her. The ledger noted that she had tragically passed away in a sudden fever just before her 16th birthday. Her final wish was for the people of Havenwood to never forget the small acts of kindness that truly defined their community. The Rose Girl was Elara Delacroix. She wasn't just leaving secrets, she was restoring her town's soul, one memory at a time. It was her destiny, a promise she made that even death couldn't break. The knowledge settled over me with a profound sense of peace. I understood now. The next night, I didn't just watch from the library window. I went out to the town square and waited by the fountain, holding a single simple rose I'd bought from the local florist. When midnight struck, the familiar, gentle light began to coalesce out of the mist. She appeared, as radiant as ever, her glowing bouquet held close. She moved towards the fountain, but then she stopped. She saw me. For the first time, I could make out her features within the light. She looked exactly like the faded photograph I'd found of Elara Delacroix. Her glowing eyes met mine, and in them I saw not a haunting, but a deep, unending sense of purpose and gratitude. I didn't speak. I simply held out my rose as an offering, a gesture of understanding, a promise that her work was not in vain, that someone now understood her mission. She glided forward and, with a touch as light as a moth's wing, her luminous fingers brushed against mine as she took my rose and added it to her bouquet. It began to glow, just like the others. Then she reached into her own bouquet and offered me one of her glowing roses. As I took it, it didn't just show me a secret from the past. It showed me a glimpse of the future. It showed me myself, years from now, sharing the stories of Havenwood with a new generation, ensuring that the heart of our town would never be forgotten again. It showed me that my destiny was now intertwined with hers. When I looked up, she was gone. But I knew she would be back. And I would be there, ready to help her. My name is Leo, and I am the keeper of the Rose Girl's secrets. Her story has become my story, and it's a story I will continue to tell, because some secrets aren't meant to be kept. They're meant to be shared, to remind us of who we are and of the love and courage that connect us all. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of Havenwood. If you love stories about mystery, folklore, and the secrets that bind us, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I have a feeling there are many more roses and many more secrets to uncover together. Until next time, keep looking for the magic in your own towns. You never know what you might find.